We're actually about a minute into this, but that's mostly because I got a bit distracted coming out of the break. So I apologize, that's my fault. Loads of my stuff's just disappeared in my browser. I'm trying to figure out where the heck it's gone. So give me like a moment. There it is. Okay, I fixed it. Sorry, that was just slightly concerned for a moment, and I just got... It's like, as there was like 10-second countdown, I was about to click on something, I was like, wait, where's the thing I'm about to click on? Because it disappeared to. So I was trying to figure that out, and, well, it was just a bit of a disaster. I'm sure you can figure it out from there. Okay, guys, game number 1 of this best of 3, and in the top right-hand side, our red Protoss player is Trap. Cool to see him coming to play in some Kung Fu Cups after the year he has had. Last year, when we saw him winning Kung Fu Cups, he looked good, but, like, obviously he hadn't had those big offline runs in GSL, etc. Nowadays, I think there's a lot more hype around Trap, so excited to see what he brings to the table, as his first meaningful match of the day is against Impact, our Blue Zerg, who starts up in the bottom left-hand side here on World of Sleepers. So, getting into this first game, nothing much going on. As we get this underway, Queen's popping out, Inject's going down, getting this started up. So yeah, again, that's started off here and ready to roll. As we continue to set on up and figure out where this game is going to be going over the next few moments. So, again, having a little look to see what's probably going to happen, as they do have the Queen popping. And the probe still here from Trap, also moving around down to the bottom left-hand side. Robot facility on the way in the main base, so getting that going too. That's going to be popping out as the warp gate coming up on here on the Cybernetics core. That single Zergling trying to make its way by, and will sneak through the natural up into the main base. Warp Prism on the way out, and again, third hatchery from Impact. Over to the left, as we don't really see much so far, right? Just this Warp Prism early on from Trap. That's what Impact will scout as he goes into the main. Sentry production, so we'll see how many of those come up, because that tells you a lot about maybe how aggressive a follow-up could be here. Might just be a sentry early just to get that force field just in case he needs it. If you want to build more sentries though, you definitely start looking at maybe something of an attack. Ooh, into a Stargate. Maybe double Stargate then if you're going to see one Stargate. It'd be very rare to not see two. That's a very interesting way of going about this. So, Robo Facility opening into double Stargate. A lot of what the Robo Facility will do is kind of fake your opponent out into saying, oh, you can kind of skip any, kind of defense against a Stargate that I might, need early on in this game, because it's just something I don't really need early on in this game. So that's very interesting, as you do have the Prism and a couple of Adepts. They're going to continue their way back down to the bottom left-hand side. So setting that up, getting that moving. Hey, what's up, Dolphin Wolf, my buddy? How you doing? Thank you so much for the 29-month resub on that Twitch Prime. I feel like I see your name every time I turn my stream on lately. Thank you so much, dude. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for all the continued support. I really appreciate it. Some love in the chat for Dovenworth, guys. Not only dropping the subs and the resubs, dropping bits all the time as well. Dropped some bits yesterday when you did a nice little quick stream. Thank you so much, dude. I really appreciate it. As we do see the Warp Prism just going to bring these Adepts into the main and building up Phoenix across the map. Obviously, keeping those hidden for the moment. Doesn't want, Impact to be able to do any sort of aggressive build against double Stargate. So you can't do that if he doesn't know it is double Stargate. And also wants to try and just, again, keep his opponent a bit blind. Gonna start up an Immortal now. And this is so gas intensive, right? You're building double Stargate Phoenix and an Immortal. It's so expensive. You're not going to get any gateway units here for a little while. So, you do see a Hydros Den dropping down, so obviously Impact has something of an idea. That, or the other way you could be thinking is that maybe Impact just wants to try go straight up into Lurkers, as he will get a Dropper Lord that's going to load up and go in towards the main base. So, Dropper Lord towards the main. And bringing this across through the top side. Take that over to unload here very shortly. There's a couple of drones going down as the Phoenix first make themselves known. As you do see the Phoenix continuing up around the top. So, again, having a look to see just what else they can get up to with the Roach Speed coming in. Again, there's a couple extra gates dropping down. Does shut down this drop load pretty nicely. Doesn't take any damage at all from it, which is really well done. Now a few of those gateways coming up over to this side, so Looking good, as we do see a lot of extra gates and maybe some real aggression off of this then as trap. Something like a Phoenix Immortal Sentry all in, like, it kind of feels like that's maybe where we're headed at the moment. Which is really crazy. Hey, Dolphinwolf, you know, I'm singing your praises. Thank you so much. Dropping 5 more subs. That's what I mean, guys. This guy is a legend. Doing very well. Awesome to hear, dude. Couldn't get better news. Thank you so much. I really appreciate the support. Shout those out properly a little bit later on, because right now this game does get interesting. The Hydroska 2 popping out and going down. There's no Lurker Dead on the way. I wonder if by forcing, you know, by Hydras coming out here, you're just going to be super exposed to this attack, because trying to build Hydras is expensive. I've actually got no idea. I don't think I've ever seen anything like this, like a double Stargate Phoenix into Robo Immortal all-in, like this on 2 bases. Very interesting from Trap. Absolutely a bit unique from what you'd usually expect to see. As our army comes over to the left-hand side, you're going to see a couple extra Zard Stalker and a Sentry warping in. And they're going to get ready to push through in towards that 3rd base here. And then the Spore Crawler starting to burrow. He's going to unburrow and move away to the side now. There's Guardian Shield popping up. A couple of Hydras getting stuck in there already. Transfusion on the Spore Crawler. And again, a couple of Corrosive Files dropping down. Not really doing too much though. A few extra Sentries warping in the backfield. And again, just a little bit of back and forth so far. Just going to have our Immortals picking away at that Spore. I mean, so far, really not a lot done. Now the Hydra count does look kind of scary, right? Obviously, one thing you got to make sure of is you don't get the Hydras in range of the Warp Prism, because then the Warp Prism is going to go down, and that's his trap. It would be disastrous. He's just going to come into this now, but I kind of feel like Impact just has enough and a lot of damage output, and this weird wonky attack from Trap will not do anything. GG's, and Impact will take game number 1 of this best of 3 to game number 2. And, well, again, I can't say it enough, but it was kind of a weird build in that game number 1 for my Red Protoss player. Starting in the bottom right hand side, this is Trap. Like I said, it's not something I've ever really seen much of before at all. I liked the idea of it. It just felt like, especially when he hit, there was just a few too many Hydras out. I actually feel if it was something like, I don't know, like I feel if there was less Hydras somehow. I don't know how you get the, you know, how you make it so that there's less Hydras though. Right? Because, you know, obviously you see double Stargate Phoenix and that's kind of your go-to. I guess Impact did start building Hydras pretty early though, so it felt like he figured something out that maybe we didn't talk about right away. Because it definitely felt as though he knew it was, you know, 2 Stargate Phoenix before he should have. And so he did maybe have those Hydras in higher numbers than is usually expected. So maybe that's where it all went wrong there for our Protoss player. Again, it's an interesting one to call, because especially when you've only seen it once as a caster, it's kind of like, well, you know, you can't see, you know, you can't tell you guys about it all the times I've seen it work, right? I can see how it can work though. You know, I can absolutely see the possibilities there, the advantages that are there, etc. As you do see this pro coming in, nibbling a little bit. As you know, just going to be seeing the hatch gas and pool getting set up here. Probe having a little bit of a nibble around in the main base. Nothing all too crazy though. Yeah, Probe having a little bit of a nibble here, nibble there, and again, Cybernetics Core on the way up from Trap as well at the moment. So again, that Cyber Core up and running. Getting that online. And you see the Warp Gate, oh sorry, the Gateway, Corona Boost now to Adept. Warp Gate not starting yet, so keeping an eye on that, but I mean, you'd expect it to, right? When do you actually not start Warp Gate? Basically never. Warp Gate's pretty good, who would have thought? So yeah, watching for that, but it's going to be Stargate before the Warp Gate gets going, so it's going to be nice and quick and Trap, maybe looking for some early damage, maybe even Oracle first, and then into a Phoenix afterwards. We shall see. But that is his early tech choice already kind of being placed here and sort of stated, like, oh, I want to do this. So for the moment, that is what he shall do. Winner of this, by the way, plays Bunny. So actually, I think we might just follow the winner of this through against Bunny. Because obviously that should just start up pretty soon afterwards as well, so... yeah. You see that Stalker able to drop one down, and Adept is able to get a drone kill as well, so able to take that down, and there's Adept just moving out into the center. Stalker on the way out from Trap, going to finish up. Warp Gate about halfway done. That's spiraling along. I'm just going to be seeing again Ling Speed to finish up in a few moments' time. So Overlord taking a few shots here. And you see 2 more gateways just on the way down there as well, so Trap just, then again, nothing too crazy, right? I mean, does go Oracle first, like I mentioned, with that kind of Stargate before Warp Gate. He's going to go into second Oracle right away, maybe even just triple Oracle here. We'll see if he actually wants to take a third base this game as well, because we've not seen him taking a third base yet this series. Obviously, it was only 1 game so far, but we'll see if he wants to change up in that kind of direction. Oracle trying to come up to the left, but the Queens will push this away. You have the Spore Crawler, and then into an Evo Chamber. That's a good save. Evo Chambers are nice because they have a lot of HP, and they build pretty quickly, so they gain HP very quickly while building, so it's pretty difficult to kill off like a build in Evo Chamber, in comparison to like a build in Spore Crawler. It has a lot less HP, and so its gain of HP is much lower. So the Oracle can actually out-DPS a build in Spore Crawler, definitely cannot out-DPS a build in Evo Chamber. Rotron is going to be dropping down from Impact in the natural, so pretty regular I'd say so far. In the end, this was triple Oracle from Trap, but he's really struggling to find any damage here. Oh, it's going to be more than triple Oracle, huh? He's going to go Oracle number 4. Well, whenever you go past 3 Stargate units, you're pretty much always slowing down your kind of other tech, right? You know, you're putting so much into this initial Oracle play, everything else will be delayed. So then it's kind of important that you do something to slow the Zerg down, and typically that is getting a bunch of drones because you have a lot of Oracles. You know, something along those lines. He has a lot of Adepts here as well, so he's really reliant on this doing something, I think, because if he doesn't do something... Again, look how late that rogue was, 520. Roach is already building. You know how dangerous like a Ling Roach counterattack is here, especially if you lose the Oracles to Queens while being aggressive. Let's see what happens. I mean, Roaches look as though they might be out in time to actually help out a little bit, as the Oracle's going to go diving in for the Queens, but there's a bunch of Queens down on the south side. We'll lose one of them here as he goes for the other one, but then the Transfuse comes through. However, now no defense in the natural, so he'll get a couple of drones, but he loses another Oracle. Well, the Adept shade up into the main base. That's 5 workers killed so far. That's a pretty good Spore Crawler around the back to block those Adepts from getting out, so only 2 are able to recall, and only 2 Oracles left from there as well, and that was not a success story at all. Impact decides he will just go into a big round of drones at this point rather than continue to make Ling Roach and going across map. I mean, he doesn't have Roach speed, so immediately kind of attacking doesn't necessarily make the most sense. And as you do see, he still sends the units that he already has across the map, and what is there over here? A Stalker. You know, extra gates on the way in now, but, well, we've got 3, I guess, so he will be able to warp in a couple units here, but he's going to lose some probes as the Lings come straight in towards those. That Stalker really is in trouble as well, and maybe a couple of those pylons. Okay, there's the sentry, so he's been warping in some units at the natural, and he should be able to save that Stalker, and Impact knows it, so he'll back away. Roaches down the bottom, though. This is what gets even scarier, though. If these Roaches come up here and fight this, I mean, you can insta-kill those sentries. Shield batteries aren't going to do much for you. If this Immortal, well, I can run towards the shield batteries here, and so it's not really in much trouble. That Immortal kind of saves the day at the moment. If that wasn't there, I actually could really see the majority of this army going down. However, the majority of that army's out of position, and so once again, the Lings get in, they get 1 probe, and that will be it for the moment. Roaches of Impact coming back over the left-hand side. Couple Oracles moving around as well. A few more Swarm Hosts on the way out. Nidus Network dropping down behind the mineral line as well, so getting that going. Nice little Revelation on top of those Queens. Templar Archives dropping down the main bases. Again, just a couple of extra gates coming into play. And 2 Hallucinated Phoenix coming across the side, and that's going to be some more damage onto the Overlord. Not actual damage, it's Hallucinated Phoenix, but I like to pretend Hallucinated Phoenix do damage. It's one of those things I kind of say just automatically, just to kind of fill a couple moments while I'm thinking about what I'm going to say next. And then someone in the chat's always like, "Wardy, Hallucinated Phoenix don't deal damage." So this time I'm getting ahead of the game. Roaches of Impact Impact moving around, and we do just see Trap, a couple of Zealots, taking some more shots. It's going to be popping up and trying to see what they can do. A few more Locusts coming in as well. Also going to be popping up into the sky. The Archon from Trap. Setting over this side. You just see the army. Well, the Locust is going to drop down on towards the Immortals. The Immortal goes down. The rest of these Zealots are going to be picking their way through the Locust, so that will take some damage as well. Now just going to be seeing Impact. Trying to take a fight here. I mean, the initial wave of Locusts haven't done much, so now we're just going to see First Knight is denied. Revelation there helping get rid of the Creep Tumor. The next Knight probably goes down as well. These Roaches and Lings will go back home via foot. Burrow on the way up, Tunneling Claws coming down, +2 missiles on the Evo Chamber. This up the right side, a bunch of Swarm Hosts popping around, going to spawn a bunch of Locusts, and they are going to head down the right hand side as well. So away they will go towards this third base. Locusts looking as though they want to start dropping on in here, and they're going to get behind the mineral line. Bunch of probes taking some damage, and I like the position actually because the Zealots can't really help out with that, so not a bad spot for Impact, but Trap is defending. You know, while Impact is getting into nice positions, he's not really dealing any damage, which means over time, this does get better for Trap. We see Tunneling Claws and Burrow, so maybe these burrowed Roaches will be able to get some damage done. Voidray getting pushed away there as it tries to find a way forwards. Nice force field, catches a few units too. Trap's been playing pretty well. After the early game, didn't really feel like it made much sense from Trap, and once again, missed out on a lot of potential damage, lost a lot of units. Since then, I feel like Trap's been playing masterfully. As you see this wave of Locust as well. Storm's going to be very important for this. He actually kind of misses the first Storm. Drops a couple more, really trying to get rid of those Locusts. And he will get there in the end. But that was a lot more Storms than I think he was kind of wanting to initially use on that. You do have Corrosive Files all over the place. He will just push through to get whatever kills he can, though. On the bottom side, though, he's got Roaches moving in towards the main, so their burrow play is starting to become a frustration. His extra shield batteries will drop to help out on the third base location. +2 missiles on the way up in the Evo Chamber, and that's going to finish as well, so makes these units a little bit scary as we're just really struggling to afford detection at the moment here. Go, finally an Observer shows up, a few Roaches go down. He has not realized there's a few more in the main still, though. So that's nice play by Impact, just splitting those Roaches up, trying to cause confusion with Trap, give him a chance to do even more damage with what he's investing. The Templars will morph into Archons as they run out of energy. Zealots from the bottom side coming through to chase down a Ravager or so, and again, Trap will hold on. Now Hive is on the way up, though, from Impact, and so what Impact is doing while keeping Trap pinned back on 3 bases is eventually he's going to get up in towards Broodlords, and hoping that Trap doesn't have a way to fight those Broodlords by the time he gets to them, which right now, Trap wouldn't have a way to fight those Broodlords at all. So far, it feels like the plan has been fairly successful as those Roaches come back into the main. The Mothership will start in the main base as well. Roaches will be able to see that, which is pretty good info. Madness about halfway done. The Swarm is going to pop a bunch of Locusts. Roaches burrowing forwards as well. And you see the Storm on those Roaches. Locusts getting hit also. A lot of Locusts dropping down here, so you see the Voids pressing forwards. A couple of Corrosive Bars dropping on the High Templar. More Bars missing the Void Ray there, so that will survive. Get healed up by the shield batteries. Impact still just going again, maxed out. Hive in play, but yet to make any real use of it. So, still just really watching to see what that will be used for as the Swarm Host pour out of this Nidus on the bottom side. Really changing up the direction of the attack of the Swarm Host. Might do well. You know, get some Locusts up in the main base. There's nothing to defend there, so you're probably guaranteed some damage compared to, the last few fights, where these Locusts have just been stormed down before they do anything. Oh, something was over here, though, and it forced a lot of the Locusts to drop down early, so that's a bit of a failed attempt, actually. You're going to see Stasis Wards are going to actually get up and catch those Locusts, so that's another good defense from Trap. However, the rest of this army still pressing forwards. Trap pulling back, a Storm dropping down on the Roach Ravager. More Corrosive Bars dropping down. We're still going to be seeing this Roach Ravager army pressing forwards. Another Gateway getting taken down here. A couple more Corrosive Bars on the cannon, etc. These Roaches pressing through. I mean, the cannon's firing. 3 drones going down on the top side. These Zealots are getting into work as well. Spore Crawler taking some damage. These roaches will pop up and go after a few more probes as well. Another pylon that will be saved by the Mothership, actually. Mothership's going to save a bunch of stuff in this main as he cleans up this next wave of Locusts too. And again, Trap just maintaining himself here while, you know, Impact doesn't really go anywhere with the army. You can see Trap getting Blink as well. I think he's preparing for the eventuality of Broodlords. But again, Hive, not even a Spire. And what is that Hive been for? There's nothing in play for that Hive. I feel like that was Impact making the right decisions in terms of how he was setting up. That could be a dead Nidus. And the Swarm's just going to have to run away on foot, which is never fun. Swarm hosts, Ravagers pressing forwards. You see the Zarmia Trap coming forwards as well. A few Zerglings pressing up the ramp, so Ling's taking some hits there. The Changelings here pushing through, and another Storm or so still dropping down. Locust taking a lot of damage actually as Corrosive Bowels will force these units to split away. Locust still going down. Ravagers chased down by the Zealot actually. Hey, the Zealot's going to get charged back in a moment, you know. It might actually get a kill. Okay, it's going to turn around. First, the bars will hit and kill the Observer. Trap's on the map, though. So, does he take a 4th base? Yes. He kind of has to. He's been pinned back on 3 bases for so long here. But look at their resources lost as well. It is a little bit favorable to Trap, despite the 3 units of those Locusts. So, Trap can, like, it's that sort of stage of, okay, you can get by without being on the 4th base until, like, around now. But at some point, you do still definitely need it. Zarkons, well, I mean, really good damage to start, and have shield barriers to keep them going, so the Locusts do nothing again. That's really scary, because now the Locusts on, you know, full cooldown, and this army's already across the map. It's not like the Locusts have been buying themselves a little bit of time already. Not at all. Here we go. Storm's dropping down. This is going to be a really tough defense for Impact, although Trap goes running back down the ramp, so maybe it's not as tough as I thought, but that is a heck of a stasis ward, and Trap is going to be eager to kind of take, you know, capitalize on that. So up he goes, looking to fight while these units are in stasis. Swarm hosts are going to be coming back in there. Locusts off cooldown here right now. So now they can get involved. But a couple of them going down at the start of this. Another good Storm at the top. And I tell you what, oh my god, all of the Locusts drop down onto one Zealot, which is split away from the army. These units come out of stasis, and Trap is going to kill a lot of them. The Mortals in the back struggling to even get in range because there's so much Protoss here. Blinking forwards, Ravagers going down. Trap is going to clean this up, and Trap is going to take game number 2 of this best of 3. And guys, we're going to... In the bottom right hand side, our red Protoss player is Trap. Taking on the blue Zerg. Top left hand side is Impact. Game 3 of this best of 3. I'm excited to see how this will go. On Nightshade, Trap really fighting back here. A little update on the bracket, I guess, as we just have a moment or two, just let people know where we're at. Winner of this will play Bunny. Looking forward to that. Trap Bunny in the China Team Championship playoffs was a really fun series, so maybe that could be a rematch. Then the winner of that will play Armani or Zest. Those guys are playing against each other right now. Elsewhere in the bracket, Kira is waiting for Super or Breaking GG. Firefly not causing an upset there. On the top side of the bracket, it's Dream and Creator. Dynamite in that little section, Patience and True. Definitely the bottom side of the section is where we're going to be sticking around. Definitely a stronger group of players, I would say, with Trap. Yeah, we'll probably just stick on this section of the bracket all the way through until semifinals. Then we do cast both the semifinals, so that's probably what we're going to be doing. Here's the rough plan of action here for today's Kung Fu Cup 2020 number 3. Obviously, it's actually going to be 2020 this time next week, so next week's Kung Fu Cup name will make a little bit more sense at the very least, because I know some people have been annoyed. Some people were telling me, like, what, especially on YouTube, some people were like, what, I just can't believe you're trying to gain viewers by promoting that this term is from 2020. I'm like, hello? How does that gain viewers? Like, that makes zero sense to me. But they're convinced that by putting Kung Fu Cup 2020 in my stream title, it's clickbait. like yeah, oh yeah, guys, I just got these replays from the future. Like, everyone's gonna fall for that. Oh yeah. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, it's pretty redonkulous when you think about it sometimes. Honestly, sometimes I get into so many questions for no reason. Alrighty, so What is going on? Well, we do just have Nexus dropping down here, so that's coming up. The Adept going to go shading out from Trap out through up into the center. The Probe being chased around by a couple of Zerglings. And there's going to be a Stargate early in from Trap as well, so getting that Stargate rolling. Queen pops down a Creep Tumor at the front. The Adept comes up and is going to take some damage from that Queen. Is now going to shade through in toward the main base, so Adept moving around a little bit is actually going to commit to the shade, and you can see Spore Crawler comes down to protect the first drone. 2 Queens here though, and that Adept I think is bitten off more than it can chew. And it will be picked away at there. Shaded one step too far. There's our Oracle now on the way out. So Oracle on the way from Trap. We do see the Warp Gate coming up. About 64% of the way done. Just the early Stargate. This time going to go Phoenix first, so not going to go into an earlier Oracle or kind of a rushed Oracle or anything like that. So Phoenix first comes in, picks off the Overlord. Low Depth's going to go shading out onto the map once more. So away they go out to the top left-hand side. We do just see the Queen. About halfway done. And just more Lings on the Evo chamber. What comes on the Evo? Yeah, Melee. I was going to say, this early in Evo, talking before Rotron or anything else, we're probably looking at like a Melee upgrade and something of a Ling Bane opening. Well, these 2 Adepts sneaking by. There's no Lings here to help this out, so these Adepts are going to get 3 drones. It could have been more if the control and the movement around was a little bit better. Step down over here. Lings are going to be able to grab this, and I mean, still 3 drones for 2 Adepts. It's okay. It's actually, I feel like it could have been better, right? Maybe 4 or 5 drones there would have been nice. So those Adepts do go down, and the couple of Adepts are nice to have because there are a couple extra units to help defend here and there. He is in the end going to go double Stargate. Now, obviously, this is a bit more of a traditional double Stargate because, believe it or not, he didn't go into a Robo first and then into double Stargate and then to an all-in. I imagine this is going to be double Stargate into a 3rd base, but that Melee upgrade, double Stargate really sucks against Melee upgrade openings because there's going to be a lot of Lings on the map, and with a lot of Lings on the map, you are going to be able to put a lot of pressure on the 3rd base, and that's the sort of stuff that Phoenix will not help in defending. However, the double Oracle may be something to kind of take note of here, because double Oracle into double Stargate isn't usual. Usually you have 1 Oracle, so the 2nd Oracle will help a lot in terms of protecting against Zerglings. Obviously the Melee upgrades don't matter when it comes to units up in the sky. There's a few Lings though snuck by, and that's a great scout, because now Impact sees that this is double Stargate Phoenix way before he usually should. So now Impact knows exactly what he's playing against, and let's see if he can do something about that as well. As those Lings were kind of running Trap for a fool in the main base, and then Lings are now going to go down to the 3rd. This is where these Oracles need to be back home defending, not across the map, so that's cancel on the 3rd base coming in. And 2 Adepts and a few Zealot Shade Nova. Can they defend this? Maybe they can. Impact, I think, realizes that him fighting the Adepts and the Zealots is probably not a good idea, but he also can't get the Nexus. A little bit of indecision there. I think if he just stayed on it, it would have gone down. These Oracles will then make advantage of the fact they are still across the map aggressively, coming in for 4 more drones, so it's slowly chipping away at the economy here of Impact early as Lings, though, get a run by. Zealot not in a hold position in the wall off, and that's going to be really painful as we do see the Lings continuing around in towards the main. Probes in a lot of trouble here. A couple of them already going down. The Silverlord in the main base now going to get picked away. Phoenix is going to be able to get rid of that. Oh my, no, Phoenix, go back to the Overlord, please. That's a bit of a shame as we do have the Adepts continue to pick away at those Zerglings. A couple of them surviving. Why? So many little things here from Trap that are not quite going to be going on. Phoenix going to come back around. Hydra's Den is going to be finishing in a moment or two. We do just have, again, just a few units pulling back a little bit. Oracle's going to be hanging out overhead. Pylon dropping down. Finally, this 3rd base is up, and finds the Morphing Banelings. In a way, I wonder if it's better to just sit here and wait for them to finish morphing, right? Because then you force the gas to have been used. Yeah, I feel like if you're going to kill them, once they finish morphing, it's not like something's going to show up and kill your Phoenix, right? So I feel like you can let them finish morphing or let the Zerg cancel them. Because if you just cancel them yourself, the Zerg's getting that gas back. Otherwise, you could be, that could have been 125 gas down the drain. Instead, it's like a 20 gas down the drain. So it's a big difference. Phoenix still out the front here, and we do see the Robo facility in the Warlord, in the natural. Banelin speed on the way up. The Hydra's groove spines coming up as well. A few extra Hydras coming into play. A couple of Zealots pressing forward here from Trap as the Oracles will activate their Pulsar beams and they will zap down a few of those Zerglings. Ooh, some probes over in this third base. Apologies, missing that happening as we do see the 9 workers going down. Not bad, but that will be the end of these Zerglings, bar the one that gets out to tell the tale. The epic battle of the third base. 9 probes going down. I'm trying to make it epic, but it's very hard to make 9 probes going down sound epic. Maybe it is to a Zergling. Anyways, did you see the extra Hydras on the way up, of course? This is all expected. Lingbane Hydra is the style. Going to go a little bit more Hydra heavy because of the Phoenix, so he goes into +1 missiles instead of +2 melee, which would have given you that one-shot potential. I'd be surprised if it was +2 missiles. Probably go +2 melee because of the use of that hitting probes, one-shotting them. And just because, again, once those Hydras have +1 missiles, they're already kind of buffered up against the Phoenix. And Phoenix production won't continue here, right? Like, Phoenix are kind of a set thing, so you only need so much against them, and then it's kind of it, you know, kind of done. And there you go, +2 melee will start up. Now we have Storm on the way as well, which is a very standard response to Lingbane Hydra 2. Storm kills Lings, Banes, and Hydras, so it's a pretty good upgrade to have. I mean, the entire style of this Lingbane Hydra is having a lot of mid-game units. And in that, you know, in those scenarios, it's a very fragile army. It really just kind of excels in terms of sheer numbers. And those are the scenarios when just, you know, when Storm comes into its element. You know, a lot of splash damage potential. Against the Banelins especially you need it, but even the Hydras in these kind of numbers, you need to take them down low ASAP to pick away and kind of break that critical mass from kind of doing too much. Queen's pulling across the map, so it looks like Impact just wants to end this game here and now, does not want to let this go on. He's getting +2 melee, but this, you know, with the Queens coming across, it absolutely says, hey, I'm pushing you, let's party right now. So, Queen's Hydras through the center of the map here. In the top left, couple Hallucinate Phoenix will move around. The Queen here from Impact already putting out some damage, and the Hallucination is taking some shots. Couple Zealots. A couple of Changelings getting caught up. It's hard to see that Changelings when the Stasis Ward time is up. Storm is done, so you've got that kind of first wave of what you need here up and ready. First 2 Storms are both very good, hitting Banelings and then some Hydras. Some Zealots across the map, putting on some pressure. Might get the Baneling nest here. If those other couple of Zealots actually helped out, instead they're going to spread out towards a Spore Crawler. Meanwhile, this fight continues over here. Now Bane's pushing in, there's no Storms left. Sentry's going down, hang on. Hydras need to get dealt with here. I mean, Phoenix are around. He's losing High Templar. Okay, there's finally a Storm. He was just able to get the energy up. And he's going to have one more Storm remaining. Zealots coming into the front with the Phoenix able to pick up Hydras and not being countered. It's looking very good. Zealots across the map are now going onto that hatchery. Still haven't killed the Bane Nest, but they definitely could have done. This is a good cleanup here from Trap. It's a good defense. And he's going to kill off these last couple of Hydras. And Impact is even already typing GG. He knows this doesn't go well for him. So that's GG's. And Trap goes